The following program was paid for by Partners for Small Business Prosperity, LLC.
A man walks along the streets on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, heading toward the intersection of Broad Street and Wall Street. Holding his hand and keeping pace is his 9-year-old grandson. Young Daniel Frischberg is about to get a first-hand look at the New York Stock Exchange. He doesn't realize it yet, but his destiny is to be a major player in the world of finance. What he's learned over nearly 50 years, he'll teach you today, and it's all free of charge.
There's a billionaire locked inside you. The key to freedom is information, the kind of information you find here on the MoneyMan Report. Now, here's the Money Man. Here's Dan Frischberg.
Sal Monastery, thank you so much. Welcome to the MoneyMan Report. How you doing? I'm John Crocker. Happy Friday to you. Let's start the show out today by looking at what all the crazy people are doing. The Dow is up. Dow actually up about 47 points. That only equates to less than 0.2% to the upside. S&P 500 not even up that much, only up about 0.1%. That's only about 4.5 points. And the Nasdaq really leading the way here so far today. Up 0.3%. That's up about 28 points. So I'm not sure what exactly you were hearing right before this show came on. Maybe it was Bloomberg. Maybe it was something else. But, you know, the talking heads all over the financial news shows, Bloomberg Radio, the internet, they, again, why wouldn't they? They're playing this guessing game of somehow trying to predict, somehow trying to figure out what a billion other investors on the planet may or may not be thinking, and then somehow trying to predict their next move and then somehow get ahead of them. This is a selfish tactic, my friends, of somehow trying to scalp a few bucks out of the stock market here, which never made anybody any money because these people are not providing value to the world. They're not using empathy. They're not helping people. They're not helping billions of people right now to get not only what they won't live without, but all the things that they don't want to live without. So instead, these same 95% of all the people out there who always leave the market as losers and wind up going home with less money than they started with, they're drawing these lines on these charts. They were taught it at their local trading school or online brokerage class. And they draw these lines on these charts and they're trying to predict what crazy people might be doing next. So technical analysis is just the study of trying to use these chart patterns in hopes of making predictions of the future. And I'm not totally bad-mouthing technical analysis. I do find a tiny bit of it useful. But billions of people think that all the information that they need to know is in the price of the company's stock. Do you know what the price of any given stock tells me at any given time? Not a damn thing, all right? Not a damn thing. The only sliver of information that the price of the stock tells me is that at what price one emotional lunatic with a broken crystal ball is willing to buy it at, and the price that the other emotional lunatic that failed out of tarot card school reading is willing to sell it at. Because every single time, one of them is wrong. One of them is wrong every single time. If 50% of the people out there investing and trading today, are going to go to bed tonight being wrong, and not just because their wife says they're wrong, but go to bed tonight being wrong, what information could possibly be somehow hidden in the price of the stock? You tell me. So right now, get out your quill and your scroll, get out your pencil and your paper, get out your smartphone. My mother's got this new iPhone watch. She can probably take notes on that. Love you, Mom. Here's what's been true since the beginning of time and what will be true long after the sun explodes into a fiery ball of thermonuclear explosion here, instantly vaporizing all of us. I don't have to somehow guess what these emotional idiots think that a stock will be worth today, tomorrow, or any other day, because every single time, write this down, every single time, eventually, a stock is worth the value of the future profits of that company. And I say eventually a stock is worth the value of the future profits of that company because other than the stock being perfectly priced, it's either underpriced or overpriced compared to the value of those future profits of the company. Now, every single day when I wake up, one of the things I'm doing is I am looking for these companies out there and their stock prices which do not yet reflect the future profits of that company. Those are the companies that I want to look into further to see if I want to buy them. I'm also constantly evaluating my own portfolio, the stocks I already hold, to see if those prices possibly reflect more of the future profits than I really see happening. Those are the companies that I actually want to think about selling. So the talking heads, the so-called experts all over the place here, playing this guessing game of somehow trying to figure out what a billion other people are going to do and then trying to get ahead of them. Now, why would anybody ever guess about something as important as the money that they need for the rest of their lives? Why do you know why people guess and treat investing, the money that they need to live the rest of their lives as if it was a casino game, as if they were walking into the Bellagio? Because the human brain wants to oversimplify everything. And the moment that you forget that Raytheon, Microsoft, Bristol Myers Squibb, ConocoPhillips are all companies where thousands of people go to work there every single day, and they make things that the world wants and needs. They make things that the world can't live without. These companies are making rockets and computer programs and applications and the cloud and medicines and petroleum products that the world just is not going to live without. And the moment you forget that the president of that company, down to the janitor who just got hired yesterday, do not give a flying squirrel's behind about what the price of their stock is today, because they're just concerned about doing their job and making that company the best that it can be. The moment you forget their offices are full of people and desks, telephones, computers, copy machines, other stuff that if you dropped that on your foot, it would hurt, then you no longer think of these companies as businesses that are supplying the world with what it wants and what it needs. And then you think of that company as nothing more than a stock certificate. You have then allowed your brain to belittle that company down to a tiny little flimsy piece of paper. And that's when people start treating investing like gambling and think that all they need to know is what the price of the stock is at any given second. So do not forget. Do not forget. Businesses are not a piece of paper that can be gambled away or should be gambled away. If you think these companies are just a piece of paper that can be gambled away, you're gambling with the rest of your life. You are gambling away the money that you are going to need to live your life for the rest of your life. It's not a good idea. And we're going to get into some making money strategies right after this short break. Stay right there. I'm John Crocker. This is the MoneyMan Report. We'll be right back.
Do you want more money now? I'm John Crocker from the MoneyMan Report. Grab my brand new stock report, 2 companies cashing in right now on the information tsunami, only on the MoneyMan.com. You'll be early this time. You'll feel like you hopped on a time machine back to 1986 and bought into Microsoft before it went up by 1,716%. The world is going to be shaken up so enormously that I'm not sure anyone, even scientists and the so-called experts, really understand the enormity of what's happening right now. Your chance to get in early when the profits are huge. Don't miss it this time. I share with you in detail my 2 favorite tech stocks leading the unstoppable 5G revolution and exactly how to profit from them. Go to themoneyman.com, get my free report, and I'll send you a free gift. That's themoneyman.com. Don't wait, do it now.
Well, thank you very much, guy with the super cool voice. Welcome back to the MoneyMan Report. How you doing? I'm John Crocker. Let's look at the boards real quick here. Dow Jones Industrial Average only up 0.1%, only up 30 points. S&P 500 up 0.25%. That's about 7.5 points. And the NASDAQ up about 24 points. That is also up about 0.25%. So a little green on the screen from the crazy people this morning there. So here we are. This is the MoneyMan Report, of course, on 880 The Biz, broadcasting live from South Florida. You may also now check out the podcasts of this radio show, not only on the website, www.themoneyman.com. You can also check out the podcasts of the show on Spotify. And right now, beginning yesterday, actually, you can also find the show on Apple Podcasts. So if you have a Apple iPhone, the app comes pre-installed. Just swipe left or right to find it. It's purple. It's got a little picture of a microphone on it and like two circles around it. You can find us there too. So let's get down to some money-making strategies here. So I get it. The U.S. is by far the strongest economy on the planet right now. But I do think it's worth, and we haven't talked about this in a long time, I do think it's worth taking a look at Europe again, because their economies are slowly improving, some more than others, and I'm going to get into that. So on the political front of the entire thing, the Conservative Party, they had a big victory in the United Kingdom on the December 12th or so, which pretty much is going to signal a clear Brexit roadmap. What does that do? That takes away some of the uncertainty of the whole Brexit fiasco and the stock market, right? Because the stock market doesn't like uncertainty. So that led some certainty to their market. And their unemployment rates are falling a little bit. Their economic growth is forecast to grow at 1% in 2020 and 1.3% in 2021. Obviously, we're not tearing the cover off the ball, folks, over there, but there is finally growth over there again. So specifically, certainly there are a lot of companies over there in the European Union, specifically the economies in Ireland, Germany, Malta, Australia, Latvia, and Lithuania are generally doing better than the average of the whole Eurozone. And it's just like an S&P 500 fund. It's made up of crappy companies, average companies, and great companies, and we want to be invested in the great companies. So let's look at some of these better countries here. So for some specifics on where you can continue to do some of your research here, iShares has a fund that focuses on a bunch of these companies. So for Ireland, check out that ticker EIRL. And Germany also has one. You can check out ticker EWG. Now, there is no fund for Malta, sorry, but there is a fund for Austria, and you can check out that ticker symbol at EWO. And there are also no individual funds for Latvia and Lithuania, so sorry about that. You can also check out a fund that is comprised of the 50 largest European countries. The ticker for that fund is FEZ, F-E-Z. So if you'd like to invest in some of the biggest financial companies in Europe, iShares also has a European financial fund, and that ticker is EUFN. So again, give you a lot of possible ideas here. Yes, the U.S. economy is the strongest economy on the planet right now, but Europe is starting to do a little bit better, and I think it's time to start to do some research and possibly putting some money, a little bit of money maybe, you have to decide what's right for you, into some of these European countries. I'm John Crocker. We do have a special guest on the VIP line with us on this next break, so stay right there. Don't touch that dial.